Welcome to another gorgeous day on planet Earth and another day of Dose of Did You Know? And with me today is Randy Woody. Is that your real name? Because that seriously is like the coolest like singer, songwriter, stage name ever.
Yep, that's really my name.
You were just born into it, I guess.
I guess so. But you think that wouldn't be a common name, but it really is. I've met three other people with the same name.
Shut up. No way.
It's crazy.
That is crazy because I've never heard, and I was just like, man, I wonder if he changed his name or he was just that was just God's gift to him. And hey, there you go. That is that. So you're all the way in. You're in Tennessee, right?
Yes, East Tennessee.
East Tennessee. How far away is that from Nashville?
Um, we're about 2.5 hours east.
Oh, okay. So that's not so bad. But Robin is saying that there is an echo. I don't hear an echo. Do you hear an echo, Randy?
I don't hear one though.
I don't hear one either. So, Robin, let us know if we fixed it because we are not hearing what you're hearing. But before we go on, Randy, tell the world a little bit about who you are.
Well, I'm the front man from a little band called Randy Woody and the Southbound Band. Well, like you said, we're based here in East Tennessee. We're about 30 miles south of Knoxville. But Daddy to five, uh, just a musician. Just love to get out and play music and hang out with the kids.
Did you say daddy of five?
Yeah, yeah. I have
There.
four girls and one boy and a grandson.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay, you don't look old enough to have that all of that going on, but four girls, holy moly macanoli, how's that going?
Well, they're all musical, so they all sing. Now, my son, he can write songs, but he didn't get the vocals.
No. Is that shameful in your family? Like I'm the only one that can't sing.
Yeah, well, everybody in my family plays something or sings or does something musical.
Was that
So
like did you grow up that way?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up, most country artists. My papa, my mama, my mom, they all had a trio it was a gospel group. So we traveled around from church to church, and that's how I grew up.
And you just took it from there and you cooked because I told him I said I'm having one of those really extra hungry days and he's got some like roast like two roasts in the crock pot. I'm like, so you are the man that kind of does everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we do it all. We hunt, fish, cook, grate, and play country music. You can't beat that.
How long have you been playing? Like, okay, I know you said it's like your family thing, but there must have been a time in your life where you're like, I'm going to take what I just have grown up with, and I'm going to turn it into something other than that. When was that?
Well, my mom bought me my first guitar when I was 19 years old, and so some people in the family taught me how to play, taught me some chords, and but I'd always wrote songs. I started writing, putting rhymes together when I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
By the time I learned how to play guitar, I come back to the songwriting thing, and
Mm,
it kind of blew up from there. I love playing cover songs, but getting to do my own thing, it was the driving force behind pushing the music and
right.
getting me going.
So what is that like? I always think of like when you start to sit there and you're writing this song, does it kind of come out like poetry in your mind? Or do you hear the beat? Or is it just stuff that you're going through that's like sitting on your heart that you put out and it's more of a story?
It happens in many different ways. I mean, we could be sitting here right now, and you might say something that I look and I go, "We're going to write that," And so you hear a hook, you know a good hook when you hear it. But most of the time, it's different ways. It hits me different ways. But the great thing about it is everything that I write or me and my buddies write is something that we've seen somebody go through or something we've been through personally.
Mm.
So you live the song pretty much. But so it comes in different ways.
Interesting. Do you feel I'm always fascinated about this. Like I don't sing. I do not. I am not blessed. I'm like your son. I maybe probably worse than your son. I am not blessed with any kind of vocals at all. My oldest son would cry and say, "Mom, please just don't sing. You can read a book, just don't sing." I'm like, you're two. You're supposed to love everything about me. Um, not so
Kid.
much. Yeah. Do you feel that when you're singing your own compared to when you're singing a cover, you like the energy or the feeling, there's something a little bit different in your presentation or no?
Oh, definitely. And I think what adds to that is playing live shows. When you have a big crowd of people singing your songs back to you versus, you know that they know the cover songs you're doing,
Right.
but they're singing something that come out of your head and they're singing those words back to you louder than the music. Toe chills.
I don't even know what that would feel like. That must just be
Yeah.
like the most overwhelming, or at least the first time. You might be used to it now, so it's not as overwhelming because you've been doing this for a while, but that first time that you're up there and you're singing something that is from your heart and you hear people singing it back, it's almost like a chant or something. I don't know what, like, you need to go into detail about that. I need to feel that.
Well, you know it's coming. Like we have a song back there again that, and speaking of how you come up with a song. Funny story. Me and my uncle, we were crappie fishing on Tellico Lake here in East Tennessee, and we had done caught 2 limits of crappie, so they quit biting. So every
Okay.
time the reel would go around, it was a beat, and I was hearing that beat, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and he said, "You're writing a song, aren't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm starting." So the kickoff of that song we wrote is, well, the crappie quit biting, think I'll call it a day. Grab a cold beer, crawl up in the shade. So that's how it come about. But so those people, that's one of the songs that the fans sing back to us whenever I let off a certain part. And it's the most amazing feeling. It's like cold chills, and sometimes you can come back in, and sometimes you can't because it's like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So how long did that song take you to write? Like once you hit from that moment that you like heard it, you're out there fishing and you're doing your thing.
Well, it took that one actually took a little bit because I put it on the back burner after I got it started. Well, then me and some buddies were sitting around one night, and I said, "Hey, check out this new thing we've been working on." And that was probably 3 weeks later. And after we brought that out, and I introduced them to that song, they jumped in, and bam, it was done. But it's something so different than a lot of what we do. So that made that song special.
That was that. And that must be just how it is. Like some just must spew out of you so fast and it's like there, and others you kind of start and then life happens, or maybe you're just like, you're not feeling it and you pop back in, 3 weeks later or a year later or whatnot. Right? That's like common? Is that like the feel of it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I still have some songs that's unfinished that are 12, 13 years old that I
Oh
will
wow.
come back to eventually. But, usually some of them come really fast, and that's usually the better ones whenever they come that fast to you.
Okay, so you go and you have this song, and then do you bring your band in and say, look, this is what we're gonna do?
Yep, yep.
And
And the
that's
band, and we started the band in 2006. Um, Great guys. I mean, I've got a really good band. Every time I play something acoustic wise, and I'm doing a show by myself, I tell them, I tell everybody, if you like me, wait till you hear my band, because they really put that in it. So then the
I,
band comes along, and I think around 2008 we started. Cotton Eye Joe's called us. We were playing at a little honky tonk in Maryville, Tennessee, called Big Daddy's, and love that place. It's gone now, but they let us cut our teeth in that bar. That's where we really honed in on what we were doing. So Cotton Eye Joe's in Knoxville calls, and the first big artist we ever opened for was Heidi Newfield.
oh wow.
They call us, and it was just a roller coaster after that. Now it's David Allen Cole, 6 times, I believe, something like that. And we've worked with some of the biggest artists in the industry now.
Yeah, that's what you said. Like, you know, there's a laundry list of people that you have performed with. Is there
Yeah,
any that like you're like that was cool? You know,
yeah, yeah. I tell you, and tell everybody this. Um, we've not met a bad person that we've opened for. Everybody's been great. Um, my favorite was probably Confederate Railroad and Danny Shirley. Because Danny Shirley, the way I seen him with his fans after the show, and like he come in and sat down with us, and instead of going and eating at the table with his band, he come sat down with us, me and my band, and ate before the show. So it just talked to us like he knew us forever. So just a great down to earth guy. And I think that was really a turning point. And I said, that's how I want to be. Whenever
mm,
if I do get to that point, that's how I want to be.
mm. Isn't that perfect? You kind of like sometimes when you get an experience like that, it's so meaningful for whatever it could be anything that it's like it changes a little bit of you
Yeah,
moving forward
yeah.
in that.
So we get all this took care of, and we're opening for all these big bands and everything. And so this past, I think about a month and a half ago, me and my manager Brian Wayne Perry, we fly out to Oregon. I've never flown before. I get on 3 planes to get to Oregon, and I've never flown before. And I was just like, oh my God. Um, we fly out to Oregon with Mark and Jen. They're the owners of 419 Records. And so we get out there. They welcomed us in. The hospitality was great. We got to go on a hike in some mountains I've been wanting to go to for all my life.
Yeah.
Um, so we just had a great time. And so that's led us to where we're at now. And I think Randy Woody and Southbound and 419 Records are we're about to do some things.
You're about to blow up something. Does
I
that
hope
mean that you're going to have to go back and forth to Oregon, or are you just that?
I hope that's what it means. I'm ready to go fly back right now. And the food out there was great.
What is it? What's the food? I've never been there. I've never been to
Oh,
Oregon. So you're tell
it
me.
was. They had a big spread of seafood. And, I mean, oh, I was full. By the time I come back home, I didn't want to cook nothing. I was like, I need somebody to cook that stuff for me now.
Right? Where are my people? Do you guys
Yeah.
know?
So yeah, I got to go back to Oregon for sure. But they
Oh,
have big things going on. They have we're fixing to sign a merchandise deal, so we're about to have merchandise. Um, they also have the new line out on farm419.com. They do the CBD oil and everything. So they're blowing up with that as well. So that's another aspect of the record label.
holy cow. So it's not like just record labels anymore. It's like a whole slew of different things. Basically, it sounds like anything that you kind of want to dabble into, you got it.
Yep, yep. So you get the best of both worlds. I mean, so you're out selling CBD oil and you're playing music, and the CBD oil is really good too. A lot of people that we've talked to and stuff, a lot of people I've talked to is they all tell about how great CBD oil is and how it's changed their life and stuff. So
Mhm.
it's going to be a big deal too.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So Jason's watching and he wants to know if there is a link to your music. And if there is, you can just send it to me and I'll add it to this. But if people wanted to hear you, where do they go? Like, because Jason's up in Jason's in my area, which is far away from you. So we can't go see you live unless we get on a plane.
Well, you just hang on because I may just come to you guys. But anyway, yeah, we're on Amazon. Just go look up Randy Woody and Southbound. Sing Me Back to Dixie is the name of the album. Um, so yeah, we're on Amazon. We're on iTunes. We're on anything that sells music. We're on. You can download us everywhere.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I'm so, probably going to tell my age or whatever, but whatever it is, what it is. This whole new virtual music, I don't understand it. I don't, is it different for you? Was it hard for you to get into, or maybe you've just always had this virtual music like Amazon and Spotify? And but I remember like getting the CDs and buying the CDs and having the physical piece of it. And so it is, I'm going to say it's a little challenging for Danny to understand now how to like reach my music.
Yeah, it's the same way for me because I'm old school too. I'm the same way. Um, Tell my age, I remember buying cassette tape,
Yeah, yep, yep.
but it is different. But and it's been hard to adapt to, and but we've done it. We've got a great team that with the distribution that helps us out. Brian Wayne Perry Music Group. So they take care of that, and I just got to write the song.
Perfect. That see that's the secret. You do you really, really well, and then you find awesome, honorable people to do the stuff that's not your jam. That's how to do it.
That was something that was also crazy to me because when I went out to Oregon, Mark is the president of the label, and so we're riding around and we done a pop up show. So we're riding around and he won't let us get out of the car. He's like, I'm going to go in and hand these flyers out. He's the hardest working man I've ever seen in my life. So that really won me. I was like, man, I got to be a part of this team because if you have a president of the label that's working that hard, I mean, him and
Mm.
Jen, great things, and they take care of their artists well. Anybody, I mean, they do a great job. So, but he really worked hard, and I said that's the kind of team I want to be a part of.
Mm. That says a lot about you because isn't that the truth? You whatever you surround yourself with, that's what's going to come back tenfold. So if you're around yourself with laziness or people that don't really take any honor in, in fans or even the artist or the process of it, you're just going to
Yeah,
get that's what you're going to get. That kind of energy and those people.
it makes it so much easier to have a great team. I mean, me as an artist and my band as artists, we still have to put a whole lot of effort into it. But we can focus on our things we need to focus on, and they're doing a great job of focusing on other things for us. So it works
Mm.
out. Teamwork
Yeah.
makes teamwork.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Oh, Farrah's watching from Canada, so shout out to Canada out there. And I have a dear friend who's on here, Heather, and she's just starting to get back into that musical, her musical bones. And she was saying, songs come at the most random time. What would you tell? So, what advice would you give people? Anything that are just either starting out or they're just in it, What advice helped you?
Just go all in, let it roll.
Yeah.
I wrote some songs that'll never see the light of day. They'll never be spoken into a microphone because they're terrible. But but you have to get that out, and so you get it out on paper, and especially on the songwriting aspect, you just got to let it roll. Some are good, some are bad, some are maybe not your favorite, but you never realize what you put on paper is how it's going to affect other people. And I think
Mm,
that's one of the biggest things for me is when you can write a song that'll make a grown man sit and bawl his eyes out in front of you, you've touched that person's soul. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's the important thing. And whenever you start seeing that happen, you get hungry, and it's like going out hunting. You kill your first deer, you got the fever. Then you got to keep going with it. So songwriting and playing music same way.
Maybe you should have like a whole experience, like the Southern experience with your band, some sort of like retreat. You take them hunting, you take them fishing, you sing, you cook. It's a whole retreat.
Well, we've said for years that we need a camera following us around all the time because you have never seen a reality show like this. Now, a lot of it wouldn't make it to TV, but
But a lot would.
a lot would, yeah.
A lot would. So maybe you just do that with there was there's this woman who she's a singer, she's an Italian singer, Giada Valentini. A wonderful woman, but she does that. She takes her fans, they go to Italy because that's where she's from, and they do the whole thing. You need to do that here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, we could do that. We've been talking about it. There's actually a film crew that they have the record labels using, and those guys I got to meet them. And what's funny is we're two opposites. They're heavy metal. I'm country, outlaw country singer, and so we sat out there in Oregon. We all met up there, and we hit it off, me and the two guys. And they're wanting to fly down to East Tennessee from Washington and bring the cameras. And they're like, you're gonna take us cow tipping? I said, cow tipping is the least of your worries if you come stay with me.
See? Okay. If that is planned, I want in. I want in on this experience. I
It's gonna
feel
be
like it would change me.
so September the 10th. I'm gonna see you guys in Columbia, right? That's at Boondocks.
At Boondocks, I'm going to be there. So hold on to your horses. There's going to be a whole bunch of us. Heather, who I was talking about who's just kind of getting into her musical roots again, she's going to be there. Of course, Michelle's going to be there. There is going to be a lot of people, and then there'll be you. So
Good.
I'll have a little snippet of my Southern experience.
That's right. Hey, the more the merrier for me. I love it,
Yeah,
and it's
it's that
golf.
it's fun. It's going to be it's going to be a fun time. But before, because I did give you a time frame, and I am not going to be the one to blame if your roast is all messed up, because you got lots of you got a lot of mouths over there that can be
Yeah,
angry.
yeah.
And
There'll be people commenting left and right on here. You burnt his roast.
yeah, we hate you. You do
Yeah,
not come down here. If you come down here on the 10th, you better bring me some food, make up for that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I ask you this, my last question. I ask you to answer with the first thing that comes to your heart, no matter what it sounds like in your brain. Let it speak out your mouth. In this moment right now, Randy, what does love mean to you?
What does love mean?
Yes.
I guess it's compassion for other people.
Mm.
That you I live by that old golden rule. You treat people as you want to be treated, and I love everybody. There's a lot of love, and I've been a lucky man because I have very very tight friendships. Everybody that's around me, it's about respect and loyalty. So, but compassion for other people.
Yep.
I I probably I probably play more benefits a year than I do full band shows because people know they can call me and they know that anything they need, I can't do a whole lot in other areas, but God gave me a talent to be able to use music to touch people. So I do a lot of that. So that to me, that's love. You got to help your neighbor, and I think it's just compassion for everybody.
Well, isn't that putting your money where your mouth is too? Because I'm going to see you in a few short weeks exactly for that. You were given the gift that God gave you, and you were going to share it with all of us for a great purpose to support the Reverend Warriors hike and all of our veterans that are going to be there in Nashville, coming together, healing through laughter and now music.
Yeah,
So
it's great. I'm so excited to be there.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's so funny how it started, and then I'll let you go. I said to Michelle, I said, I've met all these amazing people through Michelle Baxter. Shout out to Michelle, she's an amazing woman, and all these other friends down in Nashville I've that have really touched my heart. But maybe I've never met them in person. A lot of them. And I said, so I
Right.
just want to have this time where I can say, okay, let's be at this time. I'll be there all night long. Come in with your families, whatever. And man, that's all I had to say. Now look at what it's turned into. It's turned into this huge fundraiser from her to just totally give back a whole bunch of just love and compassion for this great country that we live in, and we all get to have a good time. So,
What you guys are doing is great, and our veterans definitely need all support they can get, and we're here for them.
yep. When we're gonna give them that love at least one day, at least like
Yeah.
that'll be it on September 10th. So I'm very excited to meet you on the 10th. And then thank you for sharing just your heart and soul. You're an amazing man. And when I feel like people get to meet amazing people, when they hear your voice, it brings it to a whole different like level when you listen. least for
I
me.
hope so.
I think so. I think so. So thank you. Have a fantastic day. And for everybody out there that is watching, remember to love hard, love pure, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Take care.
See you.